Hello guys, myself Ratna Kumar. Me and my team is going to explain about the construction and working of hydropower generating station. Okay, can we imagine the world without electricity? No. This electricity has become a key role in everyone's life, and without electricity we can't do anything, and everything is associated with this electricity, and like it is used everywhere for commercial purposes, industrial purposes, and domestic purposes, so on. Okay, have you ever imagined how this electricity is generated or produced? This electricity is produced from power plants or power generating stations. And while starting these power plants, every power plant should incorporate with two important aspects. The first one is selection of necessary power generating equipment, that is, which will give maximum output for minimum expenditure. And second one is reliability and continuous service and cheap. So, first one, these two are the important aspects. First one is maximum return for minimum expenditure, and second one is cheap, reliable, and continuous service. And what is happening in these power systems, power generating stations are a prime mover. This one form of energy is being converted into another form of energy, and the prime mover, which is attached to the or coupled to the alternator, transfers that another form of energy to electrical energy. So in this way we are getting electrical energy, and that is being transmitted using transmission lines. Based upon the form of conversion of energy from one form to electrical energy, electrical power generating stations are divided into four types. First one, steam power generating station, hydropower generating station, diesel power generating station, and nuclear power generating station. And today we are going to explain about hydropower generating station. And this is my team. Myself Ratna Kumar, 511844 from second year Tribally, and hydroelectric power station. And this is the schematic representation of hydropower generating station. In the principle behind this hydroelectric power generating station is a reservoir. It is just conversion of a potential energy into electrical energy. In this reservoir consisting of water, which is located at a certain height, possesses potential energy. When it is passed through this pressure tunnel and penstock, it gets converted into kinetic energy. From that kinetic energy, rotates the turbine which is present in this power station, and the power turbine which is attached to the alternators converts this mechanical energy into electrical energy. In this way, energy is transformed to electrical energy. So the principle behind this is conversion of potential energy to electrical energy, and we will see about the advantages and disadvantages of this. Firstly, what is the main source of production of this hydropower generating station is water. So it basically runs with what? It is basically what is the key source. So no fuel is being used in this hydropower generating station. So no fuel means no pollution, no smoke, no smoke. So it is eco-friendly. So hydropower generating station is an eco-friendly uh, generating station, and the maintenance of this hydropower generating stations is less. Like I have discussed, no fuel, so it is no fuel, no smoke and ash is produced, so it is eco-friendly, and it requires very small running charges. That is, maintenance is less because the source is water, and the water itself is free of cost. So running charges are less, and it is comparatively simple in construction and requires less maintenance, and it is of robust and longer life, and it is also serving many purposes, not only for production of electrical energy. They also helps in irrigation and controlling floods. Although such plants require attention of high-skilled persons at the time of construction, yet for operation, a few experienced persons may do the job. And moreover, the efficiency of this electrical power generating station is 85%, which is high when compared with the other power generating stations like steam, diesel, and nuclear power generating stations. And no steady losses also there. So these are the advantages of hydropower generating stations. Now we'll discuss about the disadvantages of hydropower generating stations. Coming to disadvantages, since the dam is not a simple construction, it's a huge construction, so it requires more money to build. So capital for this is high, and mostly it is water dependence, since we can't dependable on water because it varies from season to season because of weather conditions. In rainy seasons, it will be high. In summer season, it is low. So the main disadvantages is dependable on amount of water. And second third one is, even though it requires, even though if you experienced people can do this, it is a lot complicated job, and it requires high cost of transmission lines at the plant, since most of the hydropower generating stations are located in hilly areas. So for the transmission of this power supply from one place to our means nearby localities, it will be difficult because of these transmission lines. More long transmission lines are required. So mostly the disadvantage is water dependent. So in order to meet this, we are using pumped storage. What is meant by pumped storage means, in this pumped storage the water is being reserved to a storage unit located on the above the power station. That is pumped storage, in which based upon the demand of electricity, this water will be allowed from this, released from this pumped storage. In the rainy seasons, water will be high, so water will be pushed into this pumped storage, and whenever we required electricity, will gradually release the water from this pumped storage. So this hydropower electric station, generating station, is acting like a battery by producing of electricity. Means it is just producing electrical energy from using water, potential energy of the water. And production of electricity is dependent upon the speed of the water, amount of water released, because we know that in generators, the voltage developed at the load will be dependent directly proportional to the speed of motor, speed of the turbine. Since E is directly proportional to N, if more amount of water flows, then speed will be high, so electricity produced will be high. So therefore, for at the time of more demand, more amount of water will be released, and at the time of less demand, like at night times, water will be released less. In this way, we are getting electricity from electrical energy is being produced from potential energy. And remaining topics about the construction details will be explained by my friends. Thank you.
Hello, hi everyone. This is Vamsi. I'm second year Triple E department. My roll number is 511805. Today my topic is on choice of hydroelectric power stations. There are four factors for determining hydroelectric power stations. There are availability of water, storage of water, cost and type of land, transportation facilities. Coming to the availability of water, since the primary requirement of hydroelectric power stations is the availability of huge amount of water, such plants should be built at place. Example like canals, waters, where adequate water is available as a good head. Storage of water, second factor. There are wide variations in water supply from river to river canals during this year. This makes it necessary to store water by constructing a dam in order to ensure the generation of power throughout the year. This leads to the conclusion that sites selected for hydroelectric plants should be provide adequate facilities for erecting a dam and the storage of water. Now, third factor, cost and type of land. The land for the construction of the plant should be available at reasonable price. Further bearing capacity of ground should be adequate to withstand the weight of heavy equipment to be installed. Now the fourth factor is transportation facilities. The site selected for hydroelectric plant should be accessible by rail and road, so that necessary equipment and machinery can be easily transported. Now, how power is computed? The actual output of energy at a dam is determined by the volume of water released and the vertical distance the water falls. So given So given amount of water falling distance will produce a certain amount of energy. The head and the discharge at the power side and desired rotation side of the generator determine the type of turbine to be used. Now coming to the formula, to find the theoretical horsepower, the measure of mechanical energy from a specific site, this is the formula used. THP equal to Q into H by 8.8. With THP equal to theoretical horsepower, where 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watts as of US measure. Q equal to flow rate in cubic feet per second. H equal head in feet 8.8 is a constant value. Thank you.
This is Nehru from secondary Tribly of roll number 511887. So now I'm going to tell about constituents of hydroelectric power plant. So mainly the constituents of hydroelectric power plant can be divided into three parts like hydraulic structures, water turbines and electrical equipment. So now I'm going to tell about hydraulic structures. In these hydraulic structures mainly there are 7 parts like dam, spillways, headworks, surge tanks, penstocks. So coming to dam, so a dam is a barrier which stores water and creates watershed. Like so, dams are built of concrete or stone, earth or rock fill. So this type of arrangements depends upon the topography on the site. So like where the water flows will be high. So a Mansari dam may be built in a narrow can, right? At most of sites, more than one type of dam may be suitable, and the one which is most economical is chosen, right? So next, spillways. So there are times when the river flow exceed the storage capacity of the reservoir. So sometimes in rainy season there may be most of water coming to the outside. So such situations arises during a heavy rainfall. So in this catchment area, in order to discharge these surplus water from this reservoir or dam, whatever we say, so gates are provided between these prairies and a water dam, so that the water can be thrown out opening these gates. So and coming to headworks, so the headworks consist of diversion structures at the head of intake, right? So they are generally include blooms and racks for diverting float debris, right? Next, surge tank. So open conducts leading work to the turbine require no protection. However, when closed or used, protection becomes generally a surge tank is located near the beginning of the conduct. So when the turbine is running at a steady load, there are no surge in flow of water through the conduct. The quantity of water flowing in that conduct is just sufficient to meet turbine requirements. So however, when the load on the turbine decreases, the corner close of the girts of the turbine, reducing water supply to the turbine. So the excess water at the lower end of the conduct rushes back to the surge bank as it is. So and next, penstocks. These are the very important. So penstocks generally are open or closed conducts which carry water to the turbines. So from dam to the turbines. So by using of these penstocks, they are generally made up of. They are generally made up. They are generally made up of. Generally, the penstocks are made up of reinforced concrete or steel. So concrete penstocks are suitable for low heads like less than 30 m, as we use greater pressure causes rapid deterioration of concrete. So various devices such as automatic butterfly wave, air valve and surgical tank are provided for the protection of these penstocks. So by using these three we can protect these penstocks, right? So and coming to the second part, so where water turbines. So what do you mean by water turbines? So water turbines are used to convert the energy of falling water into mechanical energy. So the principal types of water turbines means in these water turbines generally there are two types of turbines like impulse turbines, and the second part is reaction turbines. So coming to impulse turbines, so impulse turbines. Such turbines are used for high heads. Like in an impulse turbine, the entire pressure of water is converted into kinetic energy in a nozzle, and the velocity of the jet drives the wheel. For example, of this type of this turbine means impulse turbine, Pelton wheel. So it consists of wheel fitted with elliptical buckets along with a periphery. The force of water jet strike, quantity of water jet falling on the turbine is controlled by means of needle or spear, right? So reverse action means like reverse action takes place if the load on the turbine increases. So this process will happen in impulse turbines. And coming to reaction turbines, so in water turbines, the second part is reaction turbines. So reaction turbines are used for low and medium heads. Like for small and medium heads, generally we go for reaction turbines instead of that impulse turbine. So in reaction turbine, water enters the runner partly with pressure energy and partly with velocity head. So the important reaction turbines are, in reaction turbines there are two types of turbines, like Francis turbines and Kaplan turbines. So so these two parts. So coming to Francis turbines, a Francis turbines is used for low to medium heads. So it consists of outer ring of stationary guide blades fixed to the turbine casting and the inner ring of rotating blades, right? So from the runner, the guide blades control the flow of water of the turbine. So in Kalpan turbine is used for low heads and larger quantities of water. It is similar to the Francis wind, except the runner of the Kalpan turbine receives water generally from radially inwards through the regulating gates all around the slides. So the cause of reaction force which drives the turbines. So these are all about water turbines. So and the last part coming to is electrical equipment. So generally the electrical equipment of hydroelectric power station includes alternators, transformers and circuit breakers and other switching and protective devices. So as we know, transformers we can step up or step down. So alternators are used to make AC to DC conversions. So these all about circuit breakers. When there is overload, these circuit breakers are used, and by using these switching and protective devices, we can control these electrical equipment. Thank you.
Hi friends, I am Yashwant Kumar of Tribly Second Year. Here I am gonna explain problems on hydroelectric station. A hydroelectric generating station is supplied from a reservoir of capacity, and it mentioned the volume. It's 5 into 10 power 6 cubic meter at a head of 200 meters. You have to find the total energy available in units of kilowatt hour, and they have mentioned efficiency 75%. That means 0.75. Okay, here the weight of the water available. Weight of the water available is W is equal to volume of water multiplied with density is equal to 5 into 10 power 6 into 1000, as therefore mass of 1 meter cube of water is 1000 grams. 1000 kilograms. Therefore electrical energy available is equal to W into H, height, into efficiency overall, is equal to 5 into 10 power 6 into 9.81 into 200 into 0.75 by 3600 into 1000, and its units will be kilowatt hour, and that is equal to 2.044 into 106 kilowatt hour, and this is the required energy available. Coming to the second problem, it has been estimated that a minimum run of approximately 94 meter cube per second will be available at hydraulic project with a head of 39 meters. We need to determine the film capacity and yearly cross output, and they given the assumption of the efficiency to be 80%. Here weight of water available. W is equal to 94 into 1000. As 94 is the volume and 1000 is the density, we have 9400,000 kilogram per second. And water head H is equal to 39 meters. Work done per second is equal to W into H into 94,000 into 39 into 9.81 in watts. That is equal to 35,963 into 10 cube watt. On simplification we get it as 35,963 kilowatt. This is gross plant capacity. And the first bit is film capacity is equal to plant efficiency into gross plant capacity is equal to 0.80 into 35,963 is equal to 28,770 kilowatt. And the yearly gross output is equal to film capacity into hours in a year. Hours in a year, that is equal to 28,770, which I had obtained from here, into 8760. This is the number of hours in a year. This is equal to 252 into 10 power 6 kilowatt hour. Moving to the next problem. A water for a hydroelectric station is obtained from a reservoir with a head of 100 meters. Calculate the electrical energy generated per hour per cubic meter of water if hydraulic efficiency, they mentioned hydraulic efficiency is 0.86 and the electrical efficiency is 0.92. We need to calculate the electrical energy generated per hour per cubic meter. Here is the solution. Water head H is equal to 100 meter. Discharge Q is equal to 1 meter cube per second. And the efficiency overall is a multiplication of these both efficiencies, 0.86 into 0.92. It's equal to 0.79. Water available per second, W is equal to Q into 1000 into 9.81. It's 9.10 Newton. Now power produced is equal to W into H into efficiency of overall, 9810 into 100 into 0.79 watts. On simplification we get 775 into 10 power 5 watts is equal to 775 kilowatt. Therefore energy generated per hour per meter cube is equal to 775 into 1 is equal to 775 kilowatt hour. This is the end of the video lecture. Thank you.